Let's read John chapter 10. Jesus is the good shepherd, and those who hear his voice belong to him. Those sheep are the Christians, brothers and sisters, people who follow Jesus Christ. And we open up our porters and allow him to come in. And Jesus says, I am the door of the sheep. And he calls us by our own name. And Jesus spoke of this. And it's written that the religious people denied Jesus. And the Bible continues to say that we, his sheep, would not be deceived, and we would not follow any other voice but Jesus. And this parable was spoken by Jesus when he was preaching his gospel. But many did not believe because they didn't understand. They closed their ears up to what he was saying, and he would preach his gospel, but nobody would believe him. They wouldn't even believe his miracles. They questioned him about everything he did. Even after he said a good shepherd will give his life for his sheep. Then he said, that's why my Father loves me, because I laid down my life, that I might take it again, because I have the power to lay it down and to pick it back up. Jesus said that because it's truth. And everyone would be all confused. They called him a devil. And others said, he can't be the devil if he heals the blind. They were all frustrated and confused because they refused to believe. They wanted Jesus to say that he was the Christ. They were blaming Jesus for their doubt. Jesus said, I told you already, and you didn't want to believe. Please follow for part 2. Welcome back to part 2 of John chapter 10. Jesus is the good shepherd, and his sheep know his voice, and they listen to him, and they follow him wherever he leads. And he gives his life for his sheep, and not only his sheep, but other sheep as well. And he lays down his life for them, and has the authority to lay it down and pick it right back up. And that's why the Father loves him. Jesus said, everyone before me were thieves and robbers of my sheep. But he also says his sheep are smart enough not to listen to them. And no one has the power to snatch them out of his hands, because our Father gave them to him. And he and the Father are one, he says. All this was being said in the temple during Hanukkah, in the wintertime, when we celebrate Christmas. And these religious men picked up rocks to stone Jesus. And Jesus said, which one of these good works are you going to stone me for? They said, we're not going to stone you because of the good works you've done. We're going to stone you because you said you were God. Jesus says, isn't it written in your law that we are gods? And that's Psalms chapter 82, verse 6. Jesus said, what's the difference between you saying you're God, but when I say I am the Son of God, you call me a blasphemer? But it was God who sanctified me and sent me. Jesus knew he was equal to God, but it didn't go to his head. He told his disciples, some of you will not pass away till you see my glory. 6 days later, they saw God transform Jesus and say, this is my son. Listen to him.